Hi, we're the Hinojosa family. This is my wife, Felicia Hinojosa, myself, Gaspar Hinojosa II. We have 3 daughters. One is Elizabeth, she's 9. We have another daughter named Ellie, she's 6. And our littlest is Autumn, and she's 2 years old. One of the things that makes us, I guess, a little bit different than a normal family is that my wife and I, the 3 girls that we have, they're not our biological daughters. We adopted them. We needed to open our hearts and ourselves to these 3 girls. And when the situation came around where they needed a stable home, and we were informed of Autumn's concerns and issues, and that the fact that she was actually in hospice care at 6 months, we decided to take on the challenge. So we took them all in. Before I met my wife, I actually worked at Isoseals as one of the clerical positions. As I learned about the program and everything and being involved with Isoseals did, it really opened my eyes to services that needed to happen. So when we took in the girls and when we got Autumn, I knew that there were services out there for her. And luckily, Isoseals gave me the insight and inspiration to get involved in those kind of areas, and gave me the opportunity to work at a hospital. And that's where I was able to get in contact with physicians and people that could provide care for her, and we took her off the hospice care. And then immediately we contacted Isoseals and said, she needs to get services. Immediately. And that, she's gonna be strong, and we believe in her, and we felt that she needed a chance to live.
At the time, she was receiving pure oxygen based to be able to breathe, and she had an NG tube for the feeding. And so at 6 months, she weighed 6 pounds. She was very malnutrition.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much, she was dying. She was dying. And we felt and we saw that there was some fight in her, and we couldn't ignore that. So as soon as we adopted the girls, we changed Arnold's middle name from Grace to Victress, which means a victorious woman.
The Early Intervention Program individualizes services. A family service coordinator is assigned to each family who joins the program, and that person is an early intervention specialist. They work with the families to really individualize and set the priorities, help the families determine what is mostly needed and what their goals are, and that may include physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech language therapy, or if the child has a vision or hearing concern, then we bring in specialists and partner with the school district on those services.
After she was out of the hospital, she was there for about a month. We got in communication with ECI, and I want to say maybe 2 months after that, that's when we started to really perform therapies that will help her. At the beginning, she was very bed-bound. She could not move her legs. She was just in her crib, and
she was diagnosed with
corpus callosum of osteogenesis. She also has scoliosis. And so in the beginning, it was just very basic, let's get you moving, let's get you to realize that you can function in your body. Yes, you're very dependent because she had a ventilator, and so she needed to breathe. That's her priority. But now, and you'll be able to see her. Yeah. Now she can do so much, and
she doesn't use a machine to breathe anymore. She's been off the respirator for
going on a year in June.
Going about a year, yeah. Those little milestones, they may have, they're huge for her, and they're huge for us. Just for her to, I remember when we heard her voice for the first time. But I remember the first time we heard her cry we were so overjoyed. I mean, we were just like, because we couldn't hear her cry. We for a long time, we had to just go by her facial expression to get an idea if she was hurting or not. She's come such a long way. And I think one of the things that, you may get a diagnosis. A physician may say something, and sometimes they may say something that's discouraging. But you can't give up. We had one doctor, Dr. Ana Almeida. She saw something in her. That's all we needed. And because of that, we took it and just ran with it. And I think for us, we just want to encourage families, like, it's not over. Getting services right away, like with Easter Seals. I don't think our daughter would be where she is right now if it wasn't for her ECI team and her team of physicians who believe in her.
In the Rio Grande Valley, there's 2 early intervention programs. You can simply call Easter Seals and we will connect you with the right program. Easter Seals will come to your home and we'll do the assessment to determine eligibility, and then we'll guide that family through that process.
People need to be aware that Easter Seals is doing everything they can with whatever finances they have. And it's tough. It's tough. People don't realize how tough it is to keep that program running and operating if we really care for our children and if we really care for the education of our children. My wife is a teacher, and support it because you're helping families like us trying to do what's right.